Hi, this is Al, and welcome to our story. Living in an age of modern conveniences, we forget how our grandparents and great-grandparents lived and what life was like for them back then. Regardless of what part of the world we came from, our ancestors had one thing in common. They lived off the land and had to survive with few of the machines and gadgets that make our lives comfortable today. The Mojave Road brings us back to a different time, a simpler time, where just existing and thriving was a daily battle with our environment. Mojave Road, also known as the Old Government Road or the Mojave Trail, is a historic route and present-day dirt road across what is now the Mojave National Preserve in the Mojave Desert. This rough road stretched approximately 138 miles from Beals Crossing on the west bank of the Colorado River opposite Old Fort Mojave to the north bank of the Mojave River, where the Old Mojave Road splits off from the route of the Old Spanish Trail. The Mojave Road was one of the early routes that brought American pioneers to California. This trail is unique in that for most of its 138-mile stretch, it is for the most part in the same condition as in the pioneer days, and a lot of the trail passes through country that is virtually unchanged since prehistoric times. The Mojave Road was a main wagon trail for only 2 decades after the Civil War. When the railroads came, the railways created an easier route to the south. While it was used, the Mojave Road was a route plagued by hostile engines, a lack of water, long stretches of sand, and rough hill climbs. A 4-wheel drive vehicle is required for all but a few short stretches of this road, which is unmaintained. We started on a Friday morning, meeting with our group in Barstow, California. We stopped for a buffet lunch at the Avi Casino in Arizona before making our way to the trailhead. Our first stop was Fort Paiute, originally named Fort Beale, which lies at the elevation of 2,828 feet near the end of Paiute Creek. It was one of a series of posts built to protect wagon traffic along the Mojave Trail. We then traveled to our campsite, overlooking a picturesque canyon. Sunset was spectacular as we spent the evening enjoying stories around the campfire. Dawn breaks early in the desert as we cooked breakfast, packed our gear, and prepared for the day's journey. We traveled for several hours overland and passed through several mountain ranges. A Joshua Tree Forest, the Kelso Sand Dunes, and finally, lava caves. Ended the day setting up camp in the hills overlooking Soda Lake, a large dry lake close to the end of the trail. The next day started bright and early as we packed up camp and headed to Traveler's Monument, a rock pile in the middle of Soda Lake where travelers would deposit rocks taken at the beginning of the Mojave Trail. Then lined up our vehicles to take the traditional group photo. Our next destination was Afton Canyon, a deep canyon with steep walls leading to the Mojave River crossing, the last obstacle before heading home. The Mojave road trip showed us the harsh and desolate landscapes the early pioneers had to cross to get to California. Traveling over that terrain required self-sufficiency, ingenuity, physical and mental stamina. We should strive to maintain those ideals and not lose those traits and attributes which made our country strong. Sometimes it just makes good sense to remember where we've been so we can keep focused on where we're going. Thank you, and I'll see you on the trails.